Bitcoin will trick you this weekend, and this is why you most likely want to watch this 5-minute update. So if you have been following along these 5 to 10 minute updates that I do here every day, you could have seen that there was a possibility for a rejection after Bitcoin retraces to the 50% level on this 4-hour leg. So as you see here, there's 3 consecutive green candles to the opposite direction of the downtrend. And then from there, a massive, massive, massive sell-off. We call that an elevator. And then you see also that after the elevator, there was a staircase up into the 50% level where markets always retrace. And from there, there was a 1-hour lower low. So this basically, I'm literally just recapping what has been said throughout these updates, right? But there was a high above, a close below, a clear reversal pattern. So when that happened, I was like, okay, well, probably we're coming back on the 4-hour leg and we have to hold this 4-hour zone. Now on the 1-hour level, on the 1-hour chart, this is the actual low because there is 3 consecutive candles on the 1-hour. But for the 4-hour, there is no 3 consecutive candles to the opposite direction here, only 2. That's why this was the most important level on the 4-hour. That got completely broken through. So what you see now is that you have a daily chart, you have a retrace on that daily chart after a massive dump, and then you have a confirmation for the continuation lower, possibly yet again sub 60,000. So why will Bitcoin trick you, and what's the lower time frame update, right? So there are two things that to watch out for. Also, guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗙𝗢𝗡. I do these updates every single day, been here since 2016. I'm not doing crazy, hyped, buy this 10,000 to the moon kind of videos. Very level-headed, very trader-like. You don't have to make 15 million% a month because you're gonna blow yourself eventually. So if that sounds good, then just subscribe to the channel. We're also gonna have an amazing update dropping with bank count today about when the bottom might be in. So you wanna stick around for that too. But so when I see this and I say, okay, there is a close below here, usually what happens is 2 things. One, it just nukes from here. So when I called the top here and when I said on the daily, on this retrace, and I said, hey, there is going to be a massive flush. The reason why I said that is because there was close below, there was no bounce, and there was just simply the flush coming. But if you look here, the other scenario is that it doesn't start flushing here, but it actually tricks retail. And I think it's much more likely in this setup than just start nuking from there. How would this look like? Well, it looks like this. It has to have a retrace to some kind of supply zone, right? So if you look at it, the 50% retrace would push Bitcoin back above the 63,500-ish region up here, and the rejection from there. I do believe that this will happen in the weekend. I believe that we are going to see this push or trick or, you know, a bull trap or whatever you want to call this into this supply zone up here in this region around 64,002, all the way up here. The high is 64,700, so somewhere along this line. And then from there, show a rejection. Rejection is going to be, very simply put, a lower time frame, or so to say 15-minute time frame on here. In any of these regions, a 15-minute market structure shift without closing above this level. So it's very important that there is no close above this level. Can be a wick, could be fine, but there should be no close above this level at 64,700. And if there is a 15-minute lower low, as you can see something like this, where it pushes and then it immediately reverses, a little bit of retrace and continuation lower, that is what I really want to ride on the weekend. I am going to get into a short position and I am going to simply follow market structure. All I have to do is wait for that retrace to come all the way up here to, you know, minimum 63,500 and then possibly all the way up here, 64,400. I think the Iran deal is falling apart, it seems like, so that also can be, so to say, a great catalyst for this continuation lower. And then just to zoom out a little bit on the higher time frame, there's massive liquidity build. Also very important, sorry, before I move on, it's very, very important that on the 4-hour, there is a break. We can see a retrace all the way up here. So like we could see this go a little bit higher if there is no market structure shift on the hourly chart. If there is no market structure shift here when it retraces to the downside, I am not going to take a short, and the reason why I won't do that is because it can come back to the actual 4-hour high, which is rather about 65.2, around that level, but I don't think that's happening. I think we're going to have a retrace all the way, because on the hourly it just looks fantastic. I think we're not going to have that. I think we're going to have a retrace to this region around 64,400, possibly a wick above there, and then anywhere here above 63,500 and 66, I am going to look for a 15-minute market structure shift, a 15-minute lower low, and then just trade from there. There is very serious imbalance here. There is built up liquidity, elevator down, staircase up. There is an initiation happening now. So again, this is my scenario for what is most likely to come. In the weekend, we can see this, push a little higher. That would be like, maybe it can happen today. Can be like a 2-3% move or even 4% move. You think that this is the reversal, this is the continuation, people get in long, and that's when they actually flush it. Possibly with the news or whatever, we will see that. I wanted to say a couple of things. One of them is that I have an amazing show coming with 𝗪𝗀𝗻 today. So subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notifications on. We're gonna discuss when the bottom is in. It's interesting because this is our tweet. Both Ben and I have been tweeting about the fact that this is a bear market rally back in May, and then you see Bitcoin on 25% from there, so you might want to watch that. And I also wanted to say this, which is this competition that I have been challenged to by Matt from the Solana Foundation. We were competing against each other, and I was leading. I told you, no hype, no bull, no insane risk, whatever. I was leading with 3%, and Matt thought he's gonna pull a ninja and went ape shit all in gamble on this. So I might have to close up to him. It's a question, what should I do? Should I start taking a gamble, like start taking bigger risk and whatnot and catch up to him? Or just say, we're representing this, what you see here, doing 2% a month, 24% a year. It's still incredible. So let me know in the comment what you think we should do. And I also wanted to tell you, if you wanted to trade and you wanted to get a bonus for trading, if you have already signed up using our link to be our partner here on the channel, they're a non-KYC available worldwide exchange, including Europe. And if you want, you can just sign up using our link in the description. And if you did, there's a deposit bonus. It's super cool because you literally can just sign up, deposit funds, and then get bonus to trade with. You don't have to use your own money to trade with, and then you can test the platform. And if you like, well, you can just stick around. You can do that. There's a link in the description, so go and sign up there. Join in the community. I'm going to post the link to the 𝗪𝗀𝗻 interview. It's also in the links and or in the description. And make sure that you check out this video, which our previous interview with 𝗪𝗀𝗻 back in January, when we basically predicted everything that happened in the past 6 months. So go and check this out, and then stick around for tomorrow for the new interview with Ben. Guys, much love. Let me know in the comment if I should go ape shit on Matthew, or I should just, represent what we represent here, which is serious trading. Let me know what to do. I'll see you next one. Ciao.